Hello, friends, and welcome to what is definitely not the second recording after I failed to press record the first time of a team review for Dingo Boys here. Don't worry, guys. We only went like 25 minutes before I realized. I mean, what? So, we're going to focus a bit on the team. I prepared for this by doing the open qualifiers casting, so we're prepared to look at the team, see everything. So instead of focusing on individual heroes, it'll be more about the team movements and everything. And you guys have sent me some notes. So we'll kind of play out the game, see what we see, but then also comment on some of your questions you had. Now, the first thing we are going to take a note is the draft. So the specifics of drafting, that's going to be something separate. Still working out some ideas on that. So instead of talking about like, oh, pick ban, that kind of philosophy, let's just look at what you have for now, for this video. One downside to your draft is that Weaver and Phantom Assassin kind of overlap in what they do. They want to farm up and become a carry. If you have two people that do that, you're kind of dependent on going a little later so that they both get the farm to do that, because otherwise they're competing. And in the meantime, while they're farming, who is going to be active? You have two heroes farming up a ton. That means the other three kind of have to do everything. And usually they want like a mid hero. It's traditionally the mid hero, but it could be the safe lane hero. It doesn't really matter. Someone who does some farming, some activities. So someone like Void Spirit, Ember, Storm, lots of like typical mid heroes. They have this more active component to them. Weaver can be active, but I think a little less so. So that does concern me a little bit. But looking at this draft, that doesn't mean you guys can't win. Because Weaver and Phantom Assassin kind of fit that same carry role, it does mean late game, you should be pretty strong. You should have two carries who do a lot of damage. And you've got a Treant, Lich, and Underlord. They're pretty good at defending and dragging out the game. So I can see you guys winning this if you... Hopefully the lanes go okay. Hopefully still get a couple towers and stuff. But if you have to, you drag out the game with these heroes, and hopefully these guys come online and you could win at the end. You are lacking in some crowd control. So you have two AoE roots, and they are pretty good, but Dark Pact, especially this Slark in particular, going to get away from a lot of stuff because you have no instant stuns. Like Lich, he's got a fear, but he has to slowly walk up because he's this backline support. And God, Slark, he has to have the reaction time to press Q when he sees Lich coming in. So it is going to be hard to kill Slark. He's kind of our issue here. But I do think you have the carry potential, like especially this PA. I think PA should be farm priority because I think she kills everyone here. Her shard now lets her break the bristleback, and once she is farmed enough, I think she can delete all these heroes. Slark can be a bit of an issue, especially if it's a drawn-out fight. Maybe Slark has a bunch of agility stacks, but I could still see it kind of going for PA's favor. It's a little hard because you don't have any supports or cores who can like lock down the Slark, but a PA versus all these I think is like pretty solid. Whereas Slark, he's pretty happy killing the Underlord and these guys, but Weaver and PA can be a little harder for him. So the hope is that you guys kind of kill off their heroes before they kill yours, and then you have the numbers advantage to kill off the Slark. So that's kind of the rough game plan. We need to get PA farm, and besides that, kind of a normal game, except for those weaknesses we highlighted. Now, your first question is about whether Treant or Lich should have gone bottom. I think that how you have it is fine. Let's think about the lanes now. We kind of looked at the overview of the draft, but think about the lanes here. Slark versus Underlord, like that's going to happen. So ignoring the supports. Slark versus Underlord, how does that go? Well, Firestorm is pretty good against melee heroes. They get burned, they take some damage, and then Underlord with his Atrophy Aura, he's not too bad at it either. I don't know what this is, guys. I think we have a bit of a bug there. He's not too bad at dealing with melee heroes, except for Slark, who can Essence Shift, kind of win that fight. So if Slark avoids the Firestorm, or he sees it goes down, waits a second, then he can go in, and if he's healthy enough, he feels comfortable doing that. Slark is typically good against melee heroes. So now we think, okay, how does the support fit into that? Which one should come up here? If it's a Treant, Treant is melee. And that's kind of the same issue. Slark can also kill Treant very easily, and the slow like DPS damage from Nature's Grasp is usually not enough to really dissuade this guy. So especially if he like pokes a little bit, gets up a couple agi stacks, and then Treant comes out of position a little bit. Ogre, who's good against melee heroes as well. Ogre and Slark, really good against melee. And you like if you put Underlord and Treant there, I think they're gonna be fine. So if we take Lich though, who's a ranged hero, he's gonna be able to poke a bit, especially. So first tip, I think we're gonna be able to do both team and individual player advice here. Frost Blast for sure, level 1. Fear probably shouldn't even be taken until like say level 4. It just doesn't do much for you. The Frost Blast poking, plus the aggressive and defensive potential of Frost Shield. Usually the build is Q, W, Q, E, and then you max W and then take ult at the when you can. And then maybe after that, depending on the game, you either max Frost Blast or start maxing your Sinister Gaze. But level 1 Sinister Gaze just doesn't do anything for you. It's like Lich, or I'm sorry, it's like Lion taking mana drain level 1. It has no damage, it has no like real utility. It's like this damageless stun. And in the early levels, that's like not very useful. Especially because if you think about Frost Blast, so we said Slark, he has to be a little worried about Underlord, but if he's healthy enough, he can do it. Lich, if you blast him like once or twice with Frost Blast, and then Slark is sitting at half health, does he want to play this melee lane against the Underlord? Not so much. It is like a little scary, and so that's how you can kind of protect the Underlord. I would be careful. Keep in mind, night vision start, guys. So some heroes have better night vision. Slark can see you guys before you can see him. So ignoring the high ground, when you actually walked up here, Slark already saw you coming in because Slark has full nighttime vision. So it looks like you're bringing Treant here to like try to be aggressive, but it's very difficult against the Slark. Slark will always see you first, which means the only way for it to work is to catch him around a tree, and that would only work if you guys had a ward already placed. Which, by the way, thinking about where you guys should place your wards, there is a Mirana 4. Mirana 4 is going to be playing down here. To protect this lane, you have arrows like coming in. As long as that doesn't happen, you should be okay if you have sticks against this Bristleback. So one ward down here would be great. Maybe even blocking the hard camp so Mirana can't make use of it. And I think Mirana and Bristleback can make use of this hard camp better than you can. So maybe even blocking this camp. Or you can put your ward here and like a sentry to block this. It's up to you. And then Weaver, one ward mid, pretty common. You can't really put the ward anywhere here, though, against the Zeus. You kind of have to put it further down. And you don't get the vision you usually have, but that's just how you play against Zeus. And the way Weaver could die is if he got arrowed from out of sight. So putting the ward like up here to spot Mirana, that's really all you guys need to see. You just need to see like this area right here. So like here and here. And I think that's where your first two wards should go. So here's the Fear. No damage, doesn't really do anything. The spells like are off a little bit, but even then, like I don't think it's even worth taking Sinister Gaze for a kill level 1. I really feel like you need Frost Blast to play the lane a bit.
The battle begins.
You need the runes. PA, I would not come up here because you didn't see anyone top. You brought 4 heroes top, and looks like you will end up dying here. I'm just kidding, I know, because in theory I watched this once already. But if you're bringing 4 heroes top, you should just relax. You sacrifice both the runes down here. One hero, unless you are this high mobility hero, maybe like Weaver. Weaver maybe pokes his head, like starts up here, and when the rune's about to spawn, walks down, like grabs it, Shikuchi's away. Almost every other carry, I would say, you just forfeit the rune. You just chill by your tower and wait. And the reason you brought 4 heroes top was to hopefully get a kill and the 2 runes. So not only do you get like a 2 for 2 rune trade, but you have first blood, and that's your advantage. Damn, free shards though. So yeah, I wouldn't try to make that play. Maybe it works in pubs, but in a competitive game with teams, if you only see Slark up here, where are the other 5 heroes? There's a good chance they're doing what you're doing. And they, like, if you don't run into 4 heroes versus 4 heroes up here, then they're 4 heroes probably on the other half of the map. There's, like, the runes spawn here, and then here, or sorry, here and here. So there's only 2 places to go if you're going to be aggressive. It's either top or bottom. So if they're not top, they're probably bottom. The bottom lane, by the way, Lich versus PA, or Lich versus Treant as who can help PA. So we kind of mentioned, okay, top, I think Lich is better here. So what about bottom? Like, is Lich like super great down here, so we're going to put him here anyways? I don't really think so. I don't think you're going to fight the Bristleback no matter who you bring down here. Not with a PA. She's not a very aggressive carry, and that's okay. She's got Stifling Dagger to get some CS. So right now, like say this creep, she can walk in, go for the melee last hit, and if she gets a couple cool stacks, it's okay. She backs off, waits for them to fade, and if a last hit comes into range at the time, dagger, and she gets it. Now Treant, Nature's Grasp level 1 is fine, but then I think taking Living Armor at least 2, at level 2 for sure, probably level 3 as well, and then you just keep healing PA. So as she takes a bit of damage on her own here, it doesn't matter. She's being healed. The extra armor protects her as well from Quill Spray, which is physical. And then Treant just keeps pulling the wave. PA, as long as she has a creep to jump to or a support who runs over and then she blinks to, she won't die. And you're not going to suddenly die to a Bristleback. The way you might die in this lane is if you get hit by an arrow. That's why the ward would be down here. So you can see the ward, or I'm sorry, you can see the arrow from the ward. You dodge the arrow. Bristleback wants to kill you. He needs to get like 4 or 5 Quill Spray stacks. And at that point, like, you guys are in a team, you should be saying something like, hey, can you walk over here so I can jump to you? Because I'm about to die. I stood here even though I have dagger and I have 6 quill stacks on me, right? So it kind of takes a misplay from you to actually die in this lane. You don't need a support here when it's a Mirana. If it was someone else, maybe. But with the Mirana, I think it is worth, you know, the carry can like 1v1 here a bit, especially if you started with a magic stick. I would skip probably Slippers and a Iron Branch if you had to get the stick. It's really value against a Bristleback. And the dagger will be enough to last hit because he has some bonus damage from it. Still got your ward. So this is something you would have wanted to place beforehand. You know, if you place it now, Zeus will know, and Zeus will probably grab Lightning Bolt and deward it, or sounds like he had a sentry and dewarded it. Oh no, that was his own sentry being placed, so maybe you noticed that, and you can get your own deward in a bit here. Actually, yeah, it looks like you grabbed one immediately. Looks like you have some money. I would also buy something. I would buy your, actually, do you even... I don't know. The armor's not worth anything in this lane. Maybe just upgrade the magic wand. I don't usually like that, but still, you just need some regen against this guy. So maybe, or maybe you're rushing a bottle. I don't know if weavers do that. If you're doing that, I think that's okay. But you do have some money, and I think wand in this game will be excellent because you're against a Zeus and a Bristleback. So if you want to finish it early, I'm fine with that. I actually don't think the Wraith Band is necessary to finish immediately. But you know what? If you finished it too, that would also be kind of okay because it does give you some attack speed. Yeah, but the armor really isn't worth anything, so I don't know. I'd probably hold off onto that till a little later. Lich right now, Lich versus Ogre. You know, probably Ogre favored, but that's kind of why you need this Frost Blast. Like, Lich versus Ogre, Frost Blast is like, it's kind of okay. I probably can't stand here forever, but like, it'll be a close trade. Lich with Fear level 1, you'll never win this trade no matter what. So right now, Slark, you think he can play aggressive if you have Frost Blast and you're like in the area? Absolutely not. He's terrified. And that's why as long as you keep Slark at like 50% health between like some Firestorms and some Frost Blast, you'd probably have like a Mango or some Clarities, then you're okay up here. Even though Slark versus Underlord, we said, like, could be Slark favored, especially with the Ogre, it won't be, because he's staying at half. He's not going to want to play that way. While we're in this pause right here, I see this pull going on, and I think this is okay. It's unfortunate it's a Kobold camp, but you're both here, and there's no reason for that. PA should still feel comfortable to be here. First off, you're level 2, which means you have your Phantom Strike. You're now good for sure. You really will not die unless an arrow hits you. And even if the arrow hits you, I kind of think you would have time to get away. Especially if you had started with a magic stick instead of this. The arrow hits, you probably won't die in that time unless you had a bunch of stacks on you already, in which case it's kind of your bad for still being up there. So if you had no stacks, the arrow hits, he starts building stacks, the stun ends, you pop your wand, you should have enough time to jump away. So you should still be up here for these kind of last hits and XP, and maybe even trying the denies. I think you feel a little uncomfortable because you have no vision here, and you're worried about the Marana, exactly what the ward's for. And here, once you see the Marana, so like Treant could be standing up here. Right now, you guys are both doing the same thing for a Kobold pull camp, and you are letting this Bristleback freely get last hits and denies. Oh, we can have even turn that on. So that's no good. If you're gonna bring 2 heroes here because the lane is like awful, which is not in this case, then one of you needs to zone away this Marana. But like this right now is all a waste of PA's time. PA only wants last hits, does not care about harassing things unless you can get a kill. This guy is pretty healthy. You're not going to kill him. If you do, it's going to take a long time, and it's not worth it. Yeah, I think PA should have been in the lane the entire time. So I think you guys missed 1 creep, and I think he got all the last hits he wanted in that time. You have some like last hits there, but they aren't worth that much because they're the kobolds. Here we go. So what if you were level 2? Oh, I guess you're still level 1. But if you had Frost Shield and Frost Blast, this Slark might just die because you Frost Shield your Underlord to protect him. He runs at the Slark. Slark uses his Pounce already, so he has no escape. So he's slowed, hit by the Frost Blast. He has to play very carefully, and it's in a way that like the fear doesn't put the same fear in him. Even though I think you did just fear him there, and maybe he I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't mean to harp on it too much, but really it's really not worth too much. So one thing you could go for here, you know from that Kobold pull earlier, this bottom lane is going to push pretty heavily. Something you can try to do, especially if this is already cut, but you do have Tango, so you could cut it yourself. Right now, you would aggro this camp and pull it this way. The hope being that you end up pulling the creeps, or at least some of them, into this camp. So if you don't do that, well, we'll see. You don't do it, so here's what happens. All of the creeps walk up here. You roll back up a little. And oh, this is so annoying when Marana does this kind of stuff. So I don't know if it's intentional or not. This to do here, separate from what we were just talking about, is good, where the carry zones away the 4 so that the support can then go do the pull. Or vice versa, if the support zones away the other support and the carry does the pull, that's okay. But you were forced to do this pull because the creep wave pushed up here. And you feel uncomfortable. You know, being down here is like okay on your own. Being up here is like starting to feel a little like, ugh, you know? I still think you can walk up, especially if Treant positions in here, because then PA can stand here, dagger, and then be ready to jump over. But because you didn't drag that creep over, or at least try, Marana might stop you. But if you were able to, then the lane would like still be over here, a little messy, because like you have some creeps here, some would pull up here, like still follow the Bristleback. But it's generally better for you than like coming up here, and it's very difficult to contest. Though you are kind of safe because you have so many creeps there, so you can do it. So I really think PA should have stayed there. Treant does get the creeps on that. But I think if PA stays up here and does, like, get some of these creeps, Treant, you stand here. You don't even need to be involved in the pull, really. If you don't get the last hits, not the end of the world. You should be thinking, you know, this lane is still kind of up here with the amount of creeps. I kind of need to be thinking about more pulls. Marana just arrowed this creep down here, though, so this camp is kind of useless. I would need to stack here at 3 minutes so that I can then use this small camp. Because if you try to do any pull with this small camp once Marana arrows it, it's kind of useless. So against Maranas or like Enchantresses or anyone who kills off your small camp in a way that it starts to become useless, kind of like if a Kobold camp is there, you just need to get it killed or stack it as soon as possible. And here would be your first opportunity to stack it. It's a couple lane mistakes. Not that I'm like, you know, I know you guys are relatively new to Dota, so of course we're gonna have some. Hey, nice, a Slark kill. Off a Frost Blast. I think you did fear him in this Firestorm a bit. But the same amount of damage you got from the fear in the Firestorm, you'd probably get from the Frost Shield damage. So, you know? Your time above ground. I don't remember if I said it in this recording or my theoretical didn't actually happen last recording. But QWQ, E, WWWW until, and your ult as necessary. That's typically a very standard Lich build. You do a half pull here. You see, yeah, she even, I think she killed another creep. It's not going to do anything. Oh, you actually took Leech Seed. You just won't get a kill with Leech Seed, right? Against Mirana, because she has a leap. The slow, like, does nothing to her. Against other heroes who have to walk away, maybe. PA, not the worst at some early kills, depending on the heroes. Mirana, not one you can really kill, because the slows don't mean anything. She just leaps away. So I wouldn't take Leech Seed here. I would go for the Living Armor and kind of do what we talked about. All right, so you actually did end up getting another ward over here. Or maybe that's the same ward you had earlier, and that's just where you placed it. He did see the Mirana coming in, so you barely get out here. Just a slight map awareness mistake. Anyone on the team can help. If you notice Mirana's missing, if you notice her on the minimap, feel free to call it out, guys. So yeah, I would just like do a bunch of pulls, keep healing the PA. And so starting to imagine the game plan here. If you do what we talked about, you just keep healing the PA, which you don't have to do every game, okay? So like sometimes you can get kills, and I wouldn't mind the Leech Seed and playing more aggressively and looking for those kind of kills. Against the Bristleback and Mirana, we said she'll leap away, so we're not going to kill her. The Bristleback, you know, maybe we get him, but he's also like pretty scary because he's a Bristleback. You don't really want to kill him. You just want to trade farm as best you can, because who's going to outscale the other? The PA is going to outscale this Bristleback. And Bristleback is not the best at pushing towers, which Treant is excellent at defending it. Bristleback has no way to chase Treant into trees, so you would just defend it. Stay here, heal the buildings, Nature's Grasp, all that. Stuff that Leech Seed does not help you do. So if you, going back to our original idea of like, oh, we win later, we need to drag out the game, Leech Seed does not help you do that. Vessel is not bad against the Bristleback. Means you're going to have to be an active Treant, though, which means you don't fit the description of like defending this lane against Bristleback while the PA goes in jungles. Who else could build the Spirit Vessel, though? I don't know if Weavers do. Probably wouldn't be the weirdest purchase if you're a mid-Weaver, but still probably not the best. I guess Treant does kind of need to build it, though. No one else is building one. Though, actually, at the end of the day, you don't need Spirit Vessel this game. I know it's pretty good against Bristleback, but PA Shard is also kind of really good. This break. So, I don't think you have to Spirit Vessel this guy. I think you can break him and kill him. And in fact, the Spirit Vessel doesn't really help. He's not hard to kill because he's high regen. He's hard to kill because he has such high damage reduction. And the Spirit Vessel doesn't really help with that. Slark, although he can Dark Pact, although he has like high regen, he has Dark Pact. So Spirit Vessel's not that great against him either. So you do use Fear here, but kind of you see how much better the lane starts to feel when you have Frost Shield and Q and you just like run at these people and blast them. Feels great. Why not get it even sooner? One more, nice. Yeah, so the lanes will just go better if you just adjust the build like that. Now this, I think, is good. You're bringing 3 heroes up here. Just make sure you keep using Living Armor on your PA. So I'm not sure who you used it on last. Let's see if you use it again here. You can pretty much use Living Armor off cooldown, and it won't affect your mana because of the cooldown versus like what you have, especially if you have a Clarity and like a Sage's Mask. You can pretty much always cast it. Getting a bit caught out here. Don't forget, Slark just sees you at night when you don't see him. His vision is always better than you at night, so you have to be very careful. You kind of have to just play next to the Underlord, not move out like that. PA will do okay here against the Bristleback so long as you keep healing her. I don't mind. In fact, I like this early choice in Ring of Health to deal with this harass, but you should also grab the Wraith Band for the extra armor and probably finish Power Treads here. It'll just help you keep playing this lane against the Bristleback, and it'll help you jungle faster if you get kicked out. Could you rush the Battle Fury? Maybe, but I don't think you... I think those small items really help a lot, so I would look for that. So I'm not sure what led you to choose Bottom Rune, and in this case, you two get it, so it works out. But if I were you, because there's really no way to know which side, as long as each side is relatively safe, which in this case, I would say it is. And in fact, I would say top is even safer for you because you have vision here. So like, what if Mirana was here arrowing this rune? You have no idea. I would pick top for that reason, just because you have the ward here. But also, let's say you get double damage. Let's say you get invis, haste, something that helps you do something. Arcane. Where do you want to do something? Top or bottom? Top. This is where our other heroes are, and we would like to get this tower. So if you're kind of choosing, should I go top or bottom, and you're not dealing with like, oh, the Zeus is already bottom. If you like can freely choose either one, I would choose the side where you want to go if you happen to get the rune. So in this case, it does kind of work out. You get the regen. I guess not that it really matters because you're pretty full health anyways. Sir, you're C. Lich getting the runes for you guys. And yeah, I want you guys to take this top tower. It's actually a good example. So we were just saying, should you go top or bottom? You end up rotating down here after that Mirana kill from that rune. Are we going to kill this guy? Are we going to kill this guy? No. No. You help defend this tower a little bit, but PA would be able to defend it, and it can handle the chip damage because you have a Treant. Though you guys can't let it take too much damage, you do want to try to defend it a little bit, but I think PA would be okay to defend this on her own. And then Treant, like if the Weaver rotates up here, gets this, then Treant is free to take bottom because PA will come top, or Underlord comes bottom, and then bottom will be protected while Treant can heal it up over time. Also, you end up TPing back to mid, but what for? Weaver, super fast, can run back to mid on his own. This wave is pushing in, but I don't know. I don't love it. It means you're not going to be able to rotate anywhere else as fast. So I think you could just Shikuchi back mid. And the reason this matters, we get top tower up here. Let's speed up a little bit. And then now they're coming into fight. They've brought Mirana, Zeus, Ogre. You do have 3 heroes, though. Like, what if you had TP now to TP here, and suddenly you can turn this fight? Because you have a... Oh, you don't have overgrowth yet, but you're close. You've got 3 heroes plus the Weaver. That makes 4 heroes against 3. You're probably going to win this fight here. Right. Treant comes down here. I think this is fine. Treant can now defend this lane. This is one of your questions. Yes, I think PA... So we saw them all rotate up here. So PA doesn't want to be there quite yet. But you can make your way up. Oh, looks like you did get the Wraith Band eventually. Make your way up. Start farming the jungle with Blur. Farm all of these camps. Make your way up here. And then this top half of the map is yours. You've got 1 ward for vision. Maybe before leaving, one of the supports could try to leave another ward. But if not, it'll be okay. And you'll play up here. Treant can now defend bottom on his own. With living armor, you'll heal this tower up. Nature's Grasp to kill creeps. Underlord can come down here now too as well. You kind of have a choice. PA should be up here. And then I don't really care how you guys switch it up, but Underlord either wants to be mid pushing this or bottom pushing this, and Weaver will farm a little bit on this lower half here and then choose like where to be active, mid or top. And if Underlord is mid, Treant should be bottom. If Treant is bottom, or if both of you are bottom, Treant doesn't really want to go mid because just how the trees are positioned, he doesn't really like it. But Zeus like doesn't do that much tower damage either. He's not that fast of a tower taker. Fast pusher, but slow tower taker. So Weaver could continue to keep farming mid and like the camps on his own, and everyone else besides PA, who's top, pushes bottom. But like right now, just watching PA farm is kind of not so useful. At this point, PA jungles decently. You've got your ult, you've got the regen. Doesn't matter. You have blur anyways. The creeps won't even hit you back. This is why the treads would help too. Jungle a little faster. Oh, and one of your other questions was about like how soon should have PA been in the jungle. I actually think... So, the way the lane went and she wasn't farming the best, if you think you can farm faster in the jungle, I think it's fine. I actually think she should have been okay continuing to play this lane. I think some of that was a slight misplays earlier, like getting the leech seed instead of healing her up with living armor. Both of you going to pulls instead of like staying in the lane. Because of that, I think Bristleback got a little stronger than he needed to. Maybe he still gets this strong, But then PA is also relatively strong, has her maybe power treads as well, and she can keep playing the lane, constantly healed by the Treant. So in this particular game, I think PA should have been okay to keep playing the lane. But I understand, like, mistakes happen. And so if you do start to feel bullied out, I would be okay with Phantom Assassin going to the jungle, and probably Treant has to come bottom to defend this, in which case maybe you don't have the same pressure top, but Weaver can rotate there because he's pretty fast, and maybe that's how you eventually get that tower instead. You guys end up having a pretty big rotation to come down here to defend this. I don't mind. PA needs to leave, though. PA TP's top, I think, here, and just farms this part of the map. Can she walk? She could, but Weaver's going to walk mid, which means Weaver could farm along the way. So I think PA should just TP top. Oh, and actually you use Underlord ult to come up here. No, I think Underlord and Lich should definitely stay bottom here with the Treant, and you guys start pressuring bottom, and PA goes up here to farm. How's Slark farming? Slark's farm is not that great either, on par with PA, so I think they'll be okay. In a one-on-one lane up there, that's fine, and the positioning is better for PA. Don't forget she can use Blur to farm Ancients, which will help speed up her farm as well. I think you want to save that Underlord ult to respond to something like this, where they have multiple heroes mid. Like, you guys used all your mobility in a burst there. You all TP'd down here, and then you Underlord ulted, which means wherever you guys end up after that, everyone is stuck in those lanes. We can kind of see, only PA can move right now. And PA is not the hero who should move. She is the hero who specifically should not move as much as possible if she's farming well. Everyone else needs to be the one to rotate. But if you all, like, TB down here and then TB away, you're stuck. What you guys are doing here is kind of like along the right idea, but we can improve it. So, taking a look at the minimap right now, your vision. PA farming down here. Kind of prefer her farming top, but you know what? If no one's bothering her down here, it's kind of also fine. So, okay, PA down here, farming. We see Slark up here. He also needs to farm right now, so we don't really need to worry too much about him. Not that we want to let him farm, but we don't really have the heroes to pressure him, so we kind of have to just plan for PA to be able to handle him later. Weaver needs to finish Diffusal to hit this power spike, and not that far off, but, you know, needs to get it at the end of the day. So you guys don't have to make a play, especially considering Zeus is very hard to push into, and Bristleback has been fairly strong. So I do think, like, right now, Weaver should probably just look to farm, maybe top, maybe here. Like, if PA is not up here, then Weaver would be up there. I think Weaver's the more survivable hero, though, so Weaver should be in the more dangerous part of the map, which is supposed to be down here usually. But actually, because you have a ward and because no one's been pressuring her, I guess it's fine for her to be down here. But otherwise, I would say, like, Weaver should be here, PA should be up here. And then the other three, they can pressure mid like this. But just let Underlord pressure it, and Lich and Treant kind of stay back. Maybe get a ward up on your own side. So, like, what you guys try to do here, I like the idea. We're trying to set up to pressure mid. I think you want some vision. But how you're approaching it right now is really scary. Slark is up here, but we're missing all 4 enemy heroes. And don't forget, they do have an enemy Mirana. So Slark disappears off the map. They could be Mirana ulted and be pushing up. So you need to have a sentry. You've got one up here. But if you're going to push mid, you need to check both sides. So you need another sentry, like over here, to check the high ground and this half. And if we can see on the minimap, they actually do have a ward right here. So they see all this going on. You end up placing this. So because you do a blind attempt like this, you have no idea if they're here or not. And as it so happens, there is someone here. So they're going to see this ward. As well as the fact that if Zeus farms this camp, there's a chance he randomly sees us anyways. So I'd be a little careful with warding too near camps when you're against a Zeus. I would feel more comfortable with this kind of warding if Underlord pushes this lane up. So he was very close to actually getting it. Once this wave is pushed up and these creeps come to the tower, in fact, we can even see it a bit. Now we see Ogre, and we may see some other heroes. And then you can feel a little safer pushing up here. But when everyone was in the river, and it's nighttime, so you can't see the other side at all, it's like really risky to make this play. It's like a few seconds too soon. You need to wait for this to come up here. Then they'll be preoccupied defending the tower. And if they were to go chase and kill you instead, then these creeps would at least get some tower damage. But there's a chance these creeps also chase, and then they become another hero. All of them giving you vision and doing a bit of damage to the enemies. So you want to wait a bit for him to push up. You end up dying. Not the end of the world. A Weaver here. Not needed here. Weaver, go jungle. Go defend top. And go farm here. Underlord and Lich are enough to defend this tower against a lot of heroes. So like right now, it's just like splitting one wave between 3 heroes. And we don't really need to. We can split it between 2 heroes, and the Weaver can get their own farm. Kind of like this. But this is a little unfortunate. This is a little... I specifically farm over here and here. This is a little too close to the mid lane with the Mirana and the Zeus and everything. And as it so happens, Slark actually ended up rotating. That was a bit unfortunate. You end up getting hit by the arrow and everything. Bristle is kind of strong, just diving these towers. At this point, it is a little scary. Uh-oh. Absolutely do not rotate in here. Ah, it's tough. Against other heroes, maybe. I think in this game, in this kind of game, where were you? Yeah, just keep farming. Farm whatever. I'd even like teleport top and farm there. I don't care about helping these guys. It's not your job. All of this is happening to buy PA time to farm. So PA coming in to fight is absolutely not what you want to happen. And then you kind of like, you just saw them run this way, and now you're running this way to farm. Like, where are the enemy heroes? We even see them. There's one like 2 here, 1 here, and we saw Bristleback run this way. So where's the safe farm? That is PA's job. All you have to think about is, where can I safely farm without being bothered at all? Imagine you're in like a bot lobby, right? Where no one is bothering you. Like, that is how you want to farm. And so in a real game, they're not going to let you do that if you're near them. So you have to look at the minimap and say, where do I get to farm like a bot? And that is up here on this half, based on enemy hero positions right now. So running in this direction is not. I don't think I've seen you use Blur to farm, by the way. I highly recommend it. It guarantees you're off the map. Hey, look at that. You're getting pressured and almost killed. Why? Because they're on this half of the map, and this is where you walk to. All of that can be avoided if you just let Treant defend this lane. Treant, very strong in side lanes. Let Treant be the only one here. Now, Zeus is kind of good at finding Treant. But besides that, you know, Treant heals this tower. Q's here. Or maybe you have Vision here. Underlord stands here, firestorms one wave, and if he sees them wrap around, he leaves. Treant moves down the trees, waits for the next creep wave, cuts him off back here, or cuts him off back here. And then if they want to kill Treant, especially if you see like a couple of them, then they all run off, and guess what? You've defended your tower, and then you just run back here, and it's very difficult for any of these heroes to kill you back here, because they just don't have the type of abilities that let them do that. And then after you see them like push back down, Treant walks back up again. And in this way, you stall this out for PA to be farming up here, which doesn't work if PA is down here. Use Blur to farm a lot, by the way. But especially, so you can use it to farm the jungle. Not really necessary once you have Battle Fury, but it is good to use against Ancients because these do a bit more damage. But then anytime you push out a wave, consider using Blur just so you don't show up on the minimap and the enemy... They can see you killing the creeps, but they have to like physically look at this spot. They can't just look at the minimap. Like, you could be here and farming, and in their eyes, they wouldn't know any better. But you have to use Blur. Kind of snowballing some kills here. Yeah, what Treant's doing here is okay, but isn't this kind of scary? Bristleback could dive you, they could dive you. So you actually want to like cut the creep wave away from them. Like I would do it at least over here. Underlord farming safe farm. PA now in the area. PA would make it here to farm. Well, maybe not at this timing, but Underlord needs to be down here with the Lich. Or mid. So it's like kind of scary. If they're up here, defending this tower is tough because they can wrap around and dive you, and against this guy, it's definitely possible. But if you have Underlord ult, you guys like all stay under the tower, and you all play back here. And if you see them start to dive you, you just Underlord ult right back, like here or into the fountain. And maybe leave Treant. Treant like walks further out and cuts the wave. But you defend this wave for a really long time. Like you see them start to dive, you Firestorm, Pit, Ice Shield the tower maybe, Treant uses Nature's Grasp. Like, isn't it so hard to dive these 3 heroes back here? And if they do dive you, aren't they kind of wasting some time? Because PA is freely farming, hopefully up here, and Weaver, because this area would be more dangerous. Weaver farms here because he's the more mobile, survivable hero. That's how you stall out. When you're not feeling as strong to fight the Bristleback or Slark, you're just looking to delay it because you know we're going to be stronger than him later. Delay the game. There you go. You're drawing it. It's like, hey, go farm here. I hope that's what you're saying. Hey, farm here, PA. You see how you're like scared to hit these creeps, but they're not going to kill this tower with this creep wave anyways. So you walk up right now. You could even do it sooner, but like let's say right now you decide, you know what? With this one range creep, are they going to kill this tower? No. You walk. Stick your head out. Hey, Nature's Grasp this way. Stand in the path. Hit these creeps. They'll all die up here. And then these guys go, oh, Treant's there. Quick, go get him. You see them leave your tower. They go, you see them and you go, haha. And you run to the trees and you walk this way. Hopefully you killed off the whole creep wave. If not, they're weakened. They come here. They die to the tower. And then you wait here. You see where they go. If they go back, if they go with this weakened creep wave to the tower, you then walk up here. Cut the next creep wave, that this one that's coming in, and then they're gonna go, hey, Treant's cutting our creep wave, let's go get him, and then you just it's just repeat. Either side lane you can do this, but that's why Treant is far better in the side lanes than in the mid lanes, because there's this hard break in the river where you can't really do this. Like, oh, I want to cut their creep wave when they're pushing this mid tower, and you're like, I cannot. So usually, try to let Treant defend a side lane, and some other heroes, say Underlord, defends mid. So here's an example. PA getting distracted, kind of chasing a little bit. Now comes to farm here, but hey, look at that. Gonna get jumped by the Slark, and now she has to TP home. Which, by the way, actually, you don't need to TP home. I understand it's like a panic reaction. Try to TP to, say, the top tower, because you can keep farming here. It's kind of an efficiency thing. But honestly, I TP home in panic all the time, so, you know. But who should this have been? This should have been the Weaver. I don't care so much about the Weaver's farm. He can be kind of strong, but he's also going to survive. He doesn't even need to TP out here. He just waits for the pounce to end, and maybe he time-lapses if need be, or he just Shikuchi's away. It should be swapped. PA should be up here and should be farming. Think of PA like a huge baby. She always has to... Actually, this doesn't make any sense. You got to leave PA alone, not like an actual baby. So you have to take care of her in like a different way. She's like a rebellious child. She doesn't want to be near anyone, but you still nurture her from afar. And so, like, you know, send her over here where it's like safe because she's by her own. No strangers. And you're an adult. You can handle strangers, so you come over here. That's what the team needs to do when you have a carry that needs to farm for a long time. That was kind of a weird analogy. So this play here, not to, like, this is fine. You get the Zeus kill, a big rotation here. Are we going to get out? Maybe. Let's see. Underlord dies. Unfortunate. Zeus for Underlord. You're fine with that? Stop. Look at the minimap. Slark. Bristle. Mirana somewhere there. I don't know where she is. PA has been left alone successfully. Go push this wave. The wave is always the fastest thing to farm, and it's the most efficient for most heroes. So PA, still one of those heroes at this point who you should be pushing out this bottom wave. You, like, say, farm this wave. You get the small camp, maybe the hard camp, then the next wave. Push it up further. And then, hopefully by that point, it all respawns. You make your way back. Something like that. Or you, like, jungle through here. Like, jungle, kill this wave. Jungle, wave. Whatever. I don't care. Farm down here. If your farming pattern's not perfect, it's fine. But you are farming freely. Okay, you know what? A kill? That's fine, too. Now farm this way. Where are all the enemies? They're all up here. Farm this way. Weaver, get out. You go this way. because Weaver can escape all these kill attempts fairly easily, and PA is our hope and our dreams. Don't get this Hood of Defiance. You don't need it. Go for a... If you feel you're dying to magic resist, go straight for the BKB. Hood on PA is just not really a thing. Maybe a Mage Slayer could be interesting. I haven't really seen that too much on PA. But PA at this point, I would go like... Battle Fury to farm. You need to finish your treads. It's really worth getting treads. I would have finished them before the Battle Fury, but if you go Battle Fury first, sure. Battle Fury, finish your treads, and then... The thing is, you should not be fighting yet. You should farm one more item before fighting. So when you're fighting, then you're worried about all this magic damage, so you need the BKB. So if you feel like you need to fight soon because you think the enemy is coming to your base, then you get the BKB here. You have your power treads, you get your BKB, probably like one more Wraith Band as well here. You can be very slot efficient because you're going to get the Shard this game, which isn't going to take up an item slot. So like power treads, Wraith Band, and then BKB if you need to fight. But our plan is that you're going to win this later, and we're going to stall this out with the Treant, with the Underlord. So you can continue to go for a mix. It'll help you fight later, and it'll help you farm now. Deso, very classic combination for PA. So right now you get the Deso, the extra damage and armor reduction helps you farm faster, but later it's going to help you kill heroes as well. And then you decide, okay, Battle Fury Deso, now I'm going to have to fight. Now I get the BKB, but you just skip Hood. You don't need it. Hood is like you're going to be involved in a lot of little fights constantly. PA is not that hero. She farms, and then she kills. Don't need the Hood. We go straight for the BKB. Lich. Glimmer is okay, but against Zeus, it kind of loses some value. I might... I would recommend a Force Staff instead for Lich. It'll help you get out of Slark Pounce, help you kind of get away from this guy, give you the mobility to like, oh, I need to cast Chain Frost here. You can like force in, ult, that kind of stuff. Save teammates with the Force Staff. It's got a bit more utility than the Glimmer Cape, which does give you magic resistance, but he's always going to see you. The invis part doesn't come into play, and you already have 2 heroes that are invis, so beyond Zeus, they're already going to be carrying detection. Yeah. Treant's still going for the Spirit Vessel. You need to buy boots. You can't not buy boots, even on Treant. You're too slow. I would go like Urn, even if it's just brown boots. That's okay. But you gotta have some kind of boots. The Weaver would actually be the hero to go for, say, the BKB right now because he wants to fight while PA continues to farm. Yeah, so by comparison, if you didn't buy this Hood, you would actually just be done with the Deso right now. And you could start killing heroes. Your farming timing would not be bad right now, but this Hood is like totally useless on you. You could probably just kill this Mirana. You blink, you dagger, blink, hit her. If she doesn't, like, if she gets panicked by that, you may just crit her twice and kill her. Still kind of hard to kill that guy. Slark, I wouldn't quite want to fight him yet. Ogre, you could probably kill him. Zeus, you could kill him. You know, before he bursts you down, you burst him down, because your physical burst is a lot faster than his magic burst. Well, to an extent. I just don't think you need this Hood. Looking to fight. If you had the Deso, you could do it. I don't think you can fight right now. See, look at that. You almost killed her, and that was without a Deso. She's definitely dead with a Deso. And don't forget you got like an Underlord with Pipe to protect you. So if I were you, I'd probably go Battle Fury, the Treads, Battle Fury, Deso, Shard, BKB. Yeah, I think something like that. I think that sounds really good. So one of your questions is, what should you do around this time? Like, how do you play as a team yet still farm? So, first off, let's look at the map. What is important for us to do? We need this mid tower. Getting tier 1s really opens up the game, makes it easier to play. And so this should be your #1 objective. So how do we do that? Well, if we're going to be here, and we've lost both our bottom towers, where is dangerous on the map for us? The bottom is dangerous for us. We don't really want to play there. And hey, look at that. They're going on the PA. The bottom is dangerous. PA is constantly like in the dangerous part of the map, and I feel like Weaver and you guys are like more often the safe spot. So that's kind of like the big issue from this game. But this is the dangerous part, so like keep that in mind. Where safe, up here is safe because we took the tower, and we want to play here. What that means, PA should farm in this circle up here. PA farms up here, pushes up here if need be, and if they get chased out, she goes here. You guys should push mid. Which side should you push? Should you, when you push, like, and you run down here, where's more dangerous based on these circles on the map? If we think this bottom half is dangerous and this top half is the safe side, we kind of push and stand on this side. Underlord goes kind of like in the mid lane because someone has to push, and then the supports kind of stand over on this upper half. Treant, Lich, kind of more over here. You try to get some vision on this half because you feel safer approaching on this top half. Later, if you see them all top, then you can then drop like some kind of ward over here to like make this bottom half a little safer, and then maybe you can just approach from the mid. But at this point in time right now, especially because you guys smoke top, and because I just saw them kill PA down here, I know this bottom circle represents a very dangerous part of the map. This top circle is very safe. In fact, we can even extend it to where you guys are. And this mid circle is what we want. So you guys need to push down the mid, stay in this area, PA farms up here. If they come in to make a play here, remember, we keep in mind, we're actually okay going late game. We still want to be active in how we like delay the game by like trying to take buildings, because that's good for us. But we don't have to, like, we're not going to lose if we don't take this tower right here. So if that happens, we just Underlord ult out. And like maybe we lose the support, maybe Underlord dies. But if PA was free farming that whole time, we're A-okay. We're going to break down this team fight here a little bit. So they have Aegis, and they're pushing this tower. I would say you don't even fight this, actually. PA, at least, should not be here. The rest of you can be here to try to delay this. We're not looking for a full fight. Delay. PA, top or bottom. Top, generally, as a general rule. Just come up here. Farm. Now, if they dive, then you TP, and then you can fight. But for this tier 2, you don't really need to be here. Now, everyone else, how should we position for this fight? What Underlord's doing is fine. Maybe he can be even a little further back for the Firestorm route, but Underlord is the tankiest guy. He's got all these auras. You can even like heal and protect him and stuff. So what he's doing, I think, is okay. You want a sentry back here because they could have put a ward back here and they would see you. So you need a sentry here to see them. And then you want to stay more on this side. Actually, I'm sorry, no, we are on your vision. Perfect. I think it's a lot harder for them due to the high ground to this like cliff here, and like the fact that Underlord's here. You on Lich want to be like more over here. It's safer because where are they positioned? They're like here, which means how do they get to you? They can go this way or they can go like this way. But it's very difficult for them to come up like through here, and it takes a long time to like run around like that. So in general, when this high ground, when this mid tower is being pushed and you want to defend it a bit, the support should position more on this side. You'll notice if you play pubs and like a general trend, this is usually where someone gets picked off and died. Why? Because it's easier to invade this part, either straight this way or any of the supports standing in these trees. But it's much harder to die from over here. Against the Pudge, not quite as applicable. But you also have the vision here too. So you can like see this area, so you should feel more confident. So you guys want to stand on this side. Weaver, his positioning doesn't matter so much because he's so fast. Like Treant and Lich want to be more on the left. And PA doesn't even want to be here. She just wants to be farming. So now, as this fight breaks out, the Bristle has gone in a little deep. Weaver's job is to look for the back line. So primarily this Zeus, especially if you had a BKB and you could just hit this Zeus and not be stopped at all. I think that's your job. PA could... So PA ideally would be farming still right now. And in fact, I don't think Weaver would be looking for the backline then. I think Weaver would be here hitting this bristleback. Because PA is here and it looks like a full team fight is going to break out, PA, you get to choose. You choose whoever you think you can kill the fastest based on your farm. So it looks like you can get a low kill on the bristleback. He's not that important of a target, and usually we shouldn't initiate on the bristleback. But if you think you can get a fast kill on him, then it's okay. Weaver's job is still to kind of find the back line. Because he has time lapse, because he has Shikuchi, it's harder to kill the Weaver, and he should look for that. And we kill the bristleback. There you go, exactly. Jumped, but just time lapses. You didn't even have to time lapse quite yet. You could hold it a little longer. Now what should our positioning be? We still want Underlord to be near the front. PA looking for whatever kill she wants so she can like wait a little. The Treant can be near the front too because he runs through trees. Lich doesn't need to be up front. Has very long cast ranges on your ability, so you want to stand further back like over there. Weaver was looking for someone. You guys kind of come out. And because they Mirana ult and you guys like went too far, so yeah, Lich ends up being out of position. Gets killed. Weaver looking for that back again. But you notice because she has like the leaps, she's kind of hard to kill, even though you should be able to kill her. But that's why Zeus is the easier and more important kill. Has no mobility, so you just like keep attacking and killing him. Slark, the longer a fight goes on, will have more essence shifts. You got to be a little careful of that. That's why like PA with the Deso, she can fight Slark. But you're then half health when you start this fight, so you don't want to continue, especially with just like a Treant there. So, oops, stayed too long. So overall, I don't mind you guys trying to push up, like after you kill that bristleback, trying to go up. But then like the Lich going up too far, like that's no good. Once Lich dies, you should just back off. And then once you get this Aegis, you should be happy with that also, and then just back off. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to completely wipe the enemy team. Just take these kind of fights, be okay with it, and then go away. Remember, the goal was not, I need to win this fight to win. We're just delaying. We're still delaying. So we killed Aegis. They can't push now, like nearly as much. So it's like, okay, we'll just back off. It's fine. All this for a tier 2. Not even that important. This high ground fight would naturally happen a lot easier for you guys, I think. But it wasn't that bad to like poke and defend that tier 2, I think. Alright, so you have a question here. What is the right play? Let's look at the minimap. So first of all, if you want to push bottom, you see Slark top, bottom. We recently saw some heroes mid. Blur come out here. If they're not paying attention, they won't notice you farming on the minimap. Maybe they still see you, but it's just good practice. You farm this. That's okay. You could also look for a play. Because we saw some mid, one person top, you know they're a little split up. Weaver could get to us really quickly. So 4 of us could smoke, look for some kind of pick-off, preferably on the bottom half of the map. Somewhere like in this circle here. Because that is like away from the Slark. If Slark wants to TP here, it is a 6-second teleport, at which point hopefully you've killed someone that you find. And you don't have to take a fight either. Remember, still just delaying. So if PA is farming, it's okay. Slark's up here, so we're not that scared for her. Slark and Zeus are how she dies. So as long as we can see like some of them, we like don't mind too much. So defending mid is like okay. PA has moved to the jungle a little bit because she's like kind of scared. Right now, who could we kill? Look at the minimap. Weaver has teleport, so could get back. May not even need him. Got 3 heroes here, mid, and our 4th here. And if we look at them, they are split up. 3 up here and 1 down here. So you now have a choice. Are we strong enough to fight here? This could work because if we all bring 5 of us here and Weaver comes in the back, this is 5 of us. And at most, Zeus is here as well. So it would be a 5 versus 4. Ogre has no way to get over here at all. Now, if you don't think you can fight at all, like you're really behind, I don't think you're too far behind right now. So I do think you could make this fight up here if you wanted. But if you were really scared and you want to play it more safe, then just go kill this Ogre. He's a very free kill. You probably, frankly, PA could probably kill him on his own. But maybe like 1 or 2 supports heads over. Underlord keeps defending like mid or bottom. Or maybe Underlord goes. Tell you what, super high level play. Underlord, everyone, you guys 4, go kill this ogre, and then Underlord ult into this tower with Weaver collapsing from behind, and you take that fight. As long as you didn't blow like a huge cooldown on this ogre, then you have everything. It's a 5v4. You got a bottom kill, and now you take the top kill. I think that would be fine. In fact, where is Zeus? So Zeus isn't even here, which means if we did that, we would take a 5-on-3. PA. Now you need to get out. Now we saw Slark going this way. In fact, you even TP. You're kind of scared. I don't mind that. I think you probably could have walked, but it's okay. Because you used your teleport, though, you do have to be careful. Usually, you should be able to, like, push up here and then TP home. But now, if they push in the next, like, 60 seconds, you can't do that. So now you are kind of stuck in the base here a bit. This is why the PA versus Slark matchup, like, extended is a little risky, but, like, you can get those burst kills like that. If you didn't even have this hood, like, how much has this hood done for you? You could just have a pipe already. Or have your BKB. So this would be where one core... What is he doing? One core should be farming, like, top. And one core should be farming top. And when this happens, then you TP in here. But that way you're being efficient instead of just, like, all 5 waiting here. I guess this is what Slark's doing. I thought this wouldn't work out, but actually you don't have a stun for him at all. So I guess he can sort of do this. Should go back. How should we be positioned? Right around here. So if a fight breaks out, where is likely to get jumped? This applies to every game, by the way, not just this one. It's easier to jump this area if you're the enemy. Because it's kind of awkward to come down here. It's like there's just trees. It's not so much. There's like more mobility in this top half. So if you want to position safely on a tower push, especially for like Lich should be like here to like here, somewhere in this area. Treant, you're a tree. You should be in the tree area. And then, so where should the others position? Underlord probably stays like here or like back here. And that means Weaver, a very mobile hero, can be like kind of wherever he wants. Poke from up here, sure, but all his other teammates are here, so like maybe he can be here. We're not dealing with like a big chrono or black hole kind of game, so it's like okay for us to all be relatively close to each other in a safe position. We're relatively close together in a riskier position, and PA wouldn't even be here. PA would be farming. Because she didn't have a teleport though, Weaver, yeah, he didn't have a teleport either. All right, then I guess everyone has to be here. He can jump here because your tower can't... Actually, your tower can hit the spot. But you'd have a harder time doing it over here. I don't know. He just does. I don't know how to explain it. This is just harder to do than it is to, like, jump in this area. Decent Lich ult. They've overextended. We are going to get the Slark. Yeah, get out of here, otherwise you'll die to Quills. And maybe he'll die too. Okay. You guys had to use some buybacks. Oh god, 4 actually. But you didn't lose any buildings. And PA did not buy back. She's the most important. So some itemization issues here. I think you guys could be taking fights if you had like BKB and Shard right now. This hood's like really screwed us over. You don't have TPing out here to farm? This is okay because they're all dead right now. Usually you want to be a little careful, but actually I think this is fine. Oh yeah, Blur on cooldown. Okay, that's fine. You guys right now, you don't have to be scared. They're dead. Slark and Bristleback. Everyone get out of here. Yoop. Yoop. Ward up like somewhere in there. Pick which side you want. I don't really care which side. Top is a little better because it's closer to Roshan and because of Ancients. But at the end of the day, like, do one, and then, like, we'll improve from there. But right now, you guys are safe to push out. You have this top tower, too. So, like, if the enemy team wanted to do something, what are they likely to do? They're going to do Roshan or take this tier 2. And so, like, getting vision in this area would help a lot to be prepared for the next Roshan and to defend this top tower. This has our Ancients. This is generally better for us anyways. Versus down here. The enemy team is now going to be respawning. We actually see Slark teleport up here. What does that tell us? It tells us this top half of the map is going to get scary. We have to be very careful in that area. We see Zeus now as well. Oh, maybe we didn't. He might be smoked. Yeah, it looks like it. So you just didn't see that. Now you see that. Do you want to fight here? You know Slark's up here. And if you look at the minimap, I also see... Oh, you can't see the Mirana. She's still smoked. But the Ogre's coming up here. This is a bad fight immediately. Underlord ults right away. Everyone tries to get out. PA, you have your teleport. Push bottom. Push mid. Push bottom. One of them. Push it as fast as you can. You guys all get out. And then maybe you can fight this tier 2 or this tier 3. Looks like we're going to get picked off a little bit. Underlord ult's going to get stopped a bit there. Well, PA is here to fight, actually. So let's see how this goes. You guys need to be carrying dust against a Mirana. Sentries aren't enough. Kind of because of what just happened there. Now, 2 are dead, though. So you could look for a fight here. Treant should go first through the trees. Treant should go find someone because he has invis. Yeah, you have invis. So, like, Underlord's going up first, as if your guys are fight, but, like, no one's here, which means this is just a risky move. That means, like, they could jump Underlord, and that should be bad, right? It should mean, like, everyone gets to jump them. But if you guys are split up and, like, unsure on what to do, then it's no good. I guess Weaver can do it. It's kind of scary, though. I would walk up into this. They're about to respawn. Be a little careful. The Slark is down here. He could TP up here. So you guys are underlording out. I don't think you had to do it quite yet. I think you can stay in this area a little longer and then go. But actually, to even go back, after you win that fight, if Aegis isn't up, you should probably just take this mid tower. That's probably more important for you. This whole movement up here is kind of... Like, maybe you find a kill and stuff, but we actually want objectives more than anything, so it should be this mid tower here. Alright, we have a team fight breaking out here. So jumping the back line, I think this is fine. Remember, PA wants to look for easy and critical kills. Zeus, he fits that description. Weaver too. Alright, there's Zeus. Who do we go for next? If you all want to kill this bristleback, 5-on-1, I guess that's fine. But I think it's easier, especially as Weaver finds, like, some of the back line. Like, for PA, who's an easier kill? Bristle? Or these guys? You should go kill them. Look how hard this kill is. You don't have break yet. I think you should, though. I think you wrote that in the notes, though, so it's, you already identified it. Yeah, look, so actually that fight ended up, not so great for us. The Bristle did it all on his own. 3 people could have just backed away from the Bristle, and, like, Weaver and PA go for the supports. And then, like, if Bristle runs in, the rest of the team runs in behind him. If Bristle keeps on the team gets under this tier 2 and tries to escape. I think there's no defending this tower. This tower is dead. So if I was PA, maybe if you blur, you run up here, push us in, maybe get a tower. Running back, you're gonna get picked off. Oops. I probably didn't expect them there. I would have expected them over here too. But still, there's like nothing for you to do here if your team doesn't have buyback. So I would just go mid, and then your TP's up. You TP home when it's time to fight. All right, off that fight, or like that pick off, that kind of like bristle thing here. We ended up, looks like we're gonna lose here. Actually, this game goes on quite a while longer, huh? They get scared. I guess you guys hold a bit. Coming back from here would be really tough. PA pretty much needs to go Divine Rapier, I think. Oh, I guess this is why the game goes a little longer. Damn, look at this guy go. Oh, what a team player. I wouldn't do it. Rampages are earned. Yeah, bait him. I would never give a rampage. I'll give challenges. The rampages. Why is this so much longer still? It's bugged? This is bugged. Let's cover items real quick. So, I don't think you need the Spirit Vessel, to be honest. You definitely need boots here. Boots. Spirit Vessel, sure. Meteor Hammer and Blink also could have been okay. You don't really have an initiator. Underlord, he's like a frontliner. He doesn't really initiate. Let's say like Weaver and PA find the Zeus in the back. Wouldn't they love like, or like Mirana's there too. Like they want someone to like blink and initiate. So like I think that's what you can do on Treant. The Meteor Hammer also fine. So like Meteor Hammer Blink I think would have been okay. We'll come back to your items in a second. Lich, Glimmer, and Hood. I almost never recommend having both of them. Magic resistance scales multiplicatively. So it's diminishing returns to have multiple instances on the same hero. So like Underlord having Pipe and you having Glimmer, that's okay if the enemy has a lot of magic damage. But in this case, it's only Zeus. And Zeus does have a lot of magic damage, but like I think a Pipe is fine. I don't even know if you need a Glimmer because like Slark and Bristle, they're like all physical. Ogre, he has some magic, but like really he just amplifies their physical damage. Mirana, some magic, but really she stuns so that they can do the physical damage. I think you guys needed more like more answers to the physical damage, which I would then recommend is the Medallion / Solar Crest and Vlad's, which are really good with a PA. So someone should have those. Between the supports, you guys can figure it out. So like Lich, maybe I do Force Staff. You know what? Force Staff Glimmer is okay. I really don't mind it. Treant, I might do the Meteor Blink. I might do Blink. I might do Medallion Blink as well. Or if Lich wants to go Force Staff into the Solar Crest, that's fine. And then Underlord could get a Vlad's. Underlord or Treant can get the Vlad's. One of these two supports can get the Solar Crest. So it's up to you guys how you divide that. I think you need something else before this Scotty. I'm not sure what. I feel like I don't understand the mid-Weaver build, but I do think you need something. I think this Scotty is like, it's a big jump to 5,300 gold, and in the meantime, you're like not doing as much. So like some kind of small item along the way. Maybe the new Falcon Blade? BKB, so you can fight this Zeus and pick him off in the back. Actually, I don't think you really need that. Orchid, a little weird, but also not that bad. So you can like pick off the Zeus and Mirana, silence them, and kill them. I think that could be okay. Underlord, I think his items are fine. The Crimson Guard can maybe be something else. Maybe the Vlad's, I think that might be a little better. And then like into Greaves if you get there. I guess Underlord could build Solar Crest too, but I think the supports could build that, which means he can then go for something else, like a Scythe for Lockdown, or Halberd to deal with the Bristle, or I'm sorry, the Slark. And PA, we kind of said, yeah, don't need the Hood of Defiance, and we need that Shard a little sooner. Now, in terms of team play, I think the right ideas are there, and I've seen what you guys have written down on these notes. I like it. I feel like you guys will definitely improve. Considering you guys only started playing like in March or something, I think you guys told me. So, actually, I'll get into this more when we get into the draft stuff, because we're gonna do another thing around this team. I want to talk about drafting more, and I think that'll helps plan out like a game plan. So we'll hold off on that till then. And then one question I didn't answer was about like who should make the shot calling. I mean, it depends on every team, but usually the supports make the calls in the beginning of the game because they aren't doing as much and they get to decide what happens. But then as you approach the end, like towards the end of this game, it should be PA because PA is the one who is really strong. Not that it should be, but like oftentimes that is when the cores start to say like, this is what I want to do. I am strong enough to end the game. Here's how I end the game. I need Aegis. We should do that. I want to kill Slark. We do that. It kind of like naturally flows that way. But at the end of the day, it's whatever you guys want. Every team is unique. So I wouldn't Like, whoever's good at it should do it. If there's one person who's like always diving, maybe not let them do it. But whoever has like fairly level-headed, whoever's really good at map awareness, they will generally be able to make the right call. Because to make a right call, you have to have good information. Whoever has the best understanding of the game and map awareness, I would go to them for the calls. But otherwise, it tends to be like supports into the cores. So to summarize, kind of a long video, my bad. Some itemization issues made it a little harder than it needed to be. Some skill choices in the early laning stage, those kind of like small laning mistakes. Those are things that individually you can look on to improve, and of course it'll help the team as a whole. But thinking of the team part of this game, the main issue I want to highlight is prioritizing Phantom Assassin or whoever your game-winning carry, like prioritizing their game. Everyone needs to sort of have some idea of what PA wants. If you guys don't, it's okay. You've got this guy playing PA who can tell you. You guys need to come to this understanding that PA says, hey, I need to get my Battle Fury, and then, for example, not like it'll change by game, but I need my Deso. After that, I am willing to fight a little bit more, but I still want to get my BKB. After I have my BKB, I am ready to make big team plays, and then I'll go back to farming a bit. And then after I have, say, Abyssal, Scotty, whatever, I'm ready to end the game. Like, that is my strongest timing relative to this game. I'm ready to go, and we can just constantly look for team fights and try to end the game off some big play, Aegis, whatever. Everyone kind of needs to have that understanding, oh, we are still PA farming mode. 4 of us need to look to allow her to farm. And then understand that your mid laner probably also wants a decent amount of farm too, but find the safest part of the map, and as a team say that PA needs to be in this top part of the map. What do we do to make that happen? Oh, we need to get this tower first. Okay, everyone get up there. Rotation, take this tower. Okay, top is now ready for PA. PA, make your way over there. This is your new home. They've made it for you. And everyone else, oh, we don't want them to go to her home. Okay, you guys, let's go pressure mid. Let's go pressure bottom. Let's draw them away from PA. You do this for however long until PA hits those item timings, and then you go, okay, it's time to get back to PA. Now let's go. Any carry really follows that pattern. Not always the carry, sometimes the mid, like an alchemist. But yeah, try to implement that concept, and I think you guys are trying to implement it, but that's what I'm highlighting here. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching this. I hope it helped you guys. If not, feel free to like message me and we can talk more about it. And even if you're not on the team, if you also had a question about the video, same. And that is it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.